Good morning. Welcome to the Farm2Table Show, morning edition, where we talk about real food, real families, and what it means to live a more grounded and intentional life. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome in, everybody, to today's episode. Today's episode is one for the married folks out there, or the about to be married, or the I love them, but I don't understand why they keep ordering chickens off the internet crowd. Hmm. Today's episode is called Married with Pigs. Now, if you're thinking that sounds like a sitcom, well, it kind of is. Except instead of a laugh track, it's mostly sighing, mud on your boots, and long conversations that start with, Babe, I was just thinking, which usually ends with livestock purchase. Let's get into it. Anyway, here's the deal. One of the most common whispered things I hear goes something like this: I want to homestead. I feel called to it. But my spouse, not so much. And sometimes it's not even a flat out no. It's just not a yes. It's the I guess you can try it, but don't expect me to be up at 5 a.m. milking goats kind of support. Well, let me tell you something. That's tension, and it's real, and it's even raw. And it can either push you apart or pull you closer together. So, let's start with the problem. Homesteading isn't just a hobby, it's a lifestyle shift. It changes the way you eat, changes the way you shop, your schedule, how you spend money. It's full of reordering of values, and for a lot of people, it feels spiritual, like a return to something ancient or something sacred. But when one person is chasing chickens and the other's chasing Wi Fi, that can be tough. You're out here dreaming about orchards and off grid living, and they're just wondering if the HOA is going to find you again for that compost pile. I mean, that's real. One couple, been married for over a decade. She wanted to grow their own food, get a dairy cow, make everything from scratch. He just wanted a Saturday off and a cold drink on the porch. She kept saying, But babe, this is about health. It's about freedom. And he'd say, Yeah, but I like our weekends and bacon from the store tastes fine. And that right there, folks, that's the real issue. It's not do we raise pigs, it's can we build a life together when we don't share the same dream. So let's slow this down for just a minute because the truth is, most people aren't anti homesteading. They're anti being dragged into something they didn't ask for. I'm sure some of us can relate to that. It's not about your spouse doesn't support you. It's that they feel like this whole lifestyle showed up one day, uninvited, set up a chicken tractor, and now eats up every weekend. Let's talk about Mike. Now, Mike's wife got way into homesteading during the pandemic. One day he comes home from work and she says, I did a thing. Hmm, that phrase never ends with something small. Mike walks into the backyard and finds pigs. Two of them in a makeshift pen made out of pallets, bungee cords, and prayer. He stands there, looking at the pigs, looking at her, then back at the pigs. And all he says is, Do we own these now? And she says, Yes, they're part of the plan. Well, Mike's still trying to figure out what the plan is. But the pigs, well, they're thriving. One of them follows him around like a dog now. He named it Gary. So now Mike, who never wanted pigs, has a pig named Gary who watches football with him through the sliding glass door like a nosy neighbor. And you know what? He kind of likes it. So if you're the one with the dream and your spouse just wants things the way they were before, well, here's what I want to say: start small. Don't convert the garage into a hydroponic seed lab overnight. Okay. Start with a tomato plant, maybe a backyard herb garden. Cook a meal from scratch and explain where it came from. Show, don't sell. Invite, don't insist. All right? You can't expect your partner to jump into the deep end just because you read one Wendell Berry quote that changed your life. or a Joe Salatin quote, or a Joe Salatin book, or something like that. Okay? Let the dream breathe. Let it grow at their pace too. You want a funny experiment in communication? Try co-managing a garden bed. You you will argue about spacing, you'll argue about mulch, and this one I can relate to. You will discover that your spouse waters plants like they're trying to baptize them, and you miss like you're dusting antique furniture. Truth. One couple had a full-on silent standoff summer over the placement of a single zucchini plant. Didn't talk for 2 days. By the time they made up, the thing had grown so big it took over half the bed, and it was producing mutant squash that looked like baseball bats. They named it Zuck the Conqueror. Here's here's another thing, though, folks, and this was a serious one. Listen to their hesitation. I mean, really listen, because sometimes I don't want chickens really means I'm afraid this will take over our lives. And it could. Or I'm worried we can't afford it. Or even, I feel like I'm losing you to this new version of us. And listen, I know that stings because to you, this lifestyle might feel like you're finally finding yourself. But if it starts to feel like they're losing you, you've got to pause. You've got to reconnect before you build out that next goat pen. Okay. Now let's talk about space. And I don't mean how much space you're taking up in the yard. I mean space. It's absolutely okay for your spouse not to love it the way you do. In fact, it's oftentimes that way. You don't need matching overalls and shared compost excitement to have a thriving marriage. You need respect, grace, and sometimes parallel passions. Another couple, she runs the garden and manages the hens, and he builds stuff, fixes everything, and mows the pasture in straight, perfect lines to make him feel like a king. She names the animals, he names the tools. It works. She doesn't expect him to be up before sunrise planting sweet potatoes, but he doesn't mock her for canning 87 quarts of green beans either. Well, that's a lot of green beans. They found rhythm, not perfect, but honest, and that's the goal. So if you're sitting there thinking, this will never work, we're just so different, well, let me offer you a little hope right now. You don't have to share the same role on the homestead to share the same reason. The reason is the deeper part, the why behind the what. Maybe it's for your health, or freedom, or raising kids who know where their food comes from. Maybe it's stewardship, taking care of land God gave you. Maybe it's just peace. Oh, can I relate to this one? Maybe it's just peace, silence, a deeper connection to the earth. Whatever it is, if you can share that why with your spouse, you've got a foundation to build on, even if they never name a chicken. But hey, listen, sometimes it doesn't work out all smooth. Sometimes it's messy, like the guy who tried to surprise his wife with ducklings for their anniversary. He thought it'd be romantic. Turns out she's terrified of birds. She walked into the kitchen, saw a cardboard box peeping on the counter, and dropped her coffee mug in slow motion. I can almost see it, just like a movie set. He said, I got them for you, babe. You said you wanted to try eggs. And she said, I meant the instant pot kind. There's a little communication lesson. Anyway, but let me leave you with this. Marriage is already full of growth, pruning, droughts, and seasons of harvest. Add pigs, yeah, it's going to get messier. But if you're patient, if you leave room for each other to grow at different rates, you'll find that even uneven homesteading can lead to a stronger marriage. You don't have to be in love with the chickens. You just have to be in love with each other. And maybe, just maybe, you'll end up with pigs. Or at the very least, a compost bin and a funny story to tell at Thanksgiving. So if thanks for listening, and if this hits home or the barn, share it with your spouse and let it be the start of a real conversation. And if you're out there doing this thing together, one uneven step at a time, just know you're not alone. You're just married with pigs. Hope you hope you all enjoyed that brief little bit. And good morning to everyone, especially my morning crew, everybody over in the chat. Glad to see you. It is live, Ryan, today. How about that? Uh, Glad to see you all. It's been a long week of work for me, 50 hours in 4 days. And kind of thing. And it is man, it's good to be back on here. So I want to roll down through there. Of course, I got a couple posts up there. The hashtag $10 challenge, Homestead challenge, pinned up there at the top. Kind of keep that. And yeah, no Scotty. That's what's up with that. Where's our good friend Scotty? And there's Ed Kirkpatrick again. Good morning. Morning, Dodge and Chris on the Hippie Callier Homestead. Glad to see you all. Let's see. Good morning, bro. Good morning, Rebecca Touched by Yarn. Glad to see you in. Good morning, Joy Bartlett. Let's see. And yes, Rebecca, you're already at the 10 killer. Wow. I know, Ed, right? Live Ryan, I know. Uh, uh, let's see. Okay, let's see. Hi, everyone. Let's see. Mr. Highwood, you know that Todd, Todd and Robin Farmers Nature, we did a video together. I posted last night. Have to check that out. Uh, Cool. Yeah, I know, Ed. It's crazy. And yeah, Rebecca, how is the weather up there? Because I'm planning on hitting the road here in a few sometime later today. Um, I'm waiting for a last minute. I'm going to call the park and verify. Talked to them yesterday. They said the access to my campground was there, and my camping spot for my travel trailer wasn't flooded. So we're getting hooked up today and going to get on up there a little bit later to the 10 Killer YouTube meetup. So since it is live, Ryan, and I'm waiting for the let's see, did it anyway? Yeah, safe try. Yeah, I'm telling you, um, it is. The weather's it got chances of rain, but what like happened yesterday is it had chances, but it was all for about an hour, maybe two. It was in and out. It wasn't heavy, and it was just spotty. So I'm hoping that's what we. Oh, Rebecca says the weather is great. Awesome, good to hear. And so anyway, yeah, it's looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time. But let's move on. Speaking of weather, let's move on over to the Redneck Weather Report. See our friend Jack here. Haven't got to do this all week. All right, let's see. Get it all lined up here. There we go. Let's see Jack's smiling face there.
Good morning, Rednecks. It is 67 degrees this morning, April the 25th, 2025. We got a 13-mile-an-hour easterly wind, making it feel like it's 59 degrees. Got rain in the area, thunderstorms in the area, and we're going to get to 77 degrees today. God bless y'all. We'll see you again tomorrow. Good.
All right, stop sharing. Yeah, there was Jack with it. Yeah, that is good news. It was raining yesterday. Everything looks fine. Thank you. There's Scotty. Good morning, buddy. Glad to see you in with us this morning. We were starting to wonder if you were going to be here. Glad to see you. Hope all is well up in your part of the world. We're doing good. Just got there. Glad to see that. Rebecca posted that it was not raining yesterday. Everything looks fine. Good deal. I'm glad to hear that. That makes me feel better. Last thing I want to do is get up there and get flooded or get stuck in. But anyway, but yeah, we're going to hook up and be up there a little bit later today. Tell you what, it was a little out of practice hitting the old weather report. I'm all week of recording, and I don't do that when I record, so it's a little different. But kind of out of practice after a full week. But anyway, let's move on in since we got the crowds coming on in there. Let's move on into homestead hacks. We're going to get right into that. Homestead hacks. Our hack is a foraging hack today. Use a seasonal wild edibles calendar. So here's the little hack, if you will. Create or download a local foraging calendar to track what wild plants like dandelions, morels, and wild berries are in season each month. Print and laminate it for use in the field. Here's what it is: helps you forage safely and sustainably, encourages seasonal eating, and connects you more deeply with the land. Now, that's just a handy little tool, just something to take and print off and get laminated. Reminds me of a funny story. I was in the Army years ago, and I was a recruiter, and I went up to this young kid's house, and anyway, I say young kid, 18. Anyway, went up to his house, and There's all kinds of stuff you got to have: birth certificate, social security card, high school diploma, all kinds of stuff you got to have, documents. Well, his mom had gotten a laminating machine, and apparently that woman was laminating everything: old photos, every piece of document, his social security card was, everything was laminated, and it was quite, quite funny. It was all so. That's what happens when lamination machines show up. And Scotty, we understand. I've been known to do that. Uh, Getting ready for the show, be sitting over reading something else or looking at something else, and boop, totally goof off, and totally look up, and it's already start time. So I can relate. Anyway, I'm going to give you the tip or quote of the day. And I like this one. Kind of tickled my funny bone, as the writer, the person credited for this quote, makes me laugh often, but it makes me laugh all the time. Anyway, I live by my own rules, reviewed, revised, and approved by my wife, but still my own. And that was my good friend Cy Robertson from Duck Dynasty. I like that. I live by my own rules, reviewed, revised, and approved by my wife, but still my own. Yeah, that's the truth. Those of us out there as married men, we know what that's like. But anyway, so how's everybody doing this week? I mean, they're all here, and I appreciate it. I know some are already at, like Rebecca's already at 10 Killer for the YouTube meetup. I know I seen yesterday that Jesse and Lisa from Lazy Days Ahead was already up there. Chris and Amy from Leonard Mountain was already up there. Evelyn Newman was already up there. Of course, Johnny and Christine Gillum were already up there. Rebecca's already up there. And I think, I think Robbie with, um, wow, just lost it all. Anyway, the Wild Huckleberry. I think they're already up there. I'm not sure if I think Jack and them are traveling today. There'll be quite a few people. uh, yeah, no kidding. Mostly her rules. Yeah, I think that's the way it goes there, Scotty. I think that's the way it goes. But anyway, yeah, everybody's traveling. So we got a few people out that are on the road, and I'm not sure what cell phone signals at where they're staying. They're staying at a location. Uh, Good morning, Ronald. Glad that you're there with Rebecca. Yeah, uh, you mentioned him several times on some of the Sunday lives and stuff, Rebecca. And glad he's there with you. I hope y'all are both doing well, and glad you're both down there. It's going to be kind of cool again to get to meet everybody face to face. Uh, anyway, yeah. Anyway, that's funny. Yeah, we all got those funny things. Uh, Keith said, "I wear the pants of the family, Scotty, until I get home." Until I get home. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I think that's kind of the way it is. Uh, what was that old saying? I rule the roost and she rules the rooster, something like that. But anyway, little fun, little joking around, although there's some truth in it. But anyway, but yeah, this weekend is the 10 Killer 10 Killer YouTube meetup at Lake 10 Killer up in Oklahoma. Been a little scary with some of the weather. I know earlier in the week some of the access was flooded in on some of the campgrounds, but I guess it's went down enough that people can get in and out better. And it's already looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun weekend, and sure there'll be quite a few photos and videos and that sort of thing coming out with those of us that are going to be up there. But, and speaking of up there and events, let's go ahead and start running through this weekend, because it is Friday and a lot of this stuff starts today. The Shindig Ozark Living Expo today and tomorrow, April 25th, 26th, Newton County Fair and Rodeo, Jasper, Arkansas. Again, Zach Bauer's there today. That's a free event. And we're going to be there today and tomorrow. The Homestead Conference, Waco, Texas, starts this morning and tomorrow. That's a big conference, supposed to go well. Hope to see some stuff from that posted. Homesteading and Outdoor Expo tomorrow, April 26th, 9 to 5 in Port St. Lucie, Florida. First annual River Valley Homestead Conference and Poultry Show, April 25th, 26th, Sebastian County Fairgrounds in Greenwood, Arkansas. I was hoping to make it down to that one, but with some of the holding off this week, my work schedule, I've got a lot of things to get ready this morning on the camper, get it hooked up, get everything loaded, figure out exactly a few things there, and last minute supplies and stuff because honestly, didn't think I was going to take the camper. Thought we were just going to do a Saturday, but the weather cleared enough, the water went down, and so we're going to go ahead and head up today and do our camping. So probably won't make that one, but I'm hopefully here's some. I hate that we have competing events in the same neighborhood, but sometimes we got to make choices, and that's the way it goes. Anyway, and of course, as I've been talking about already, the 10 Killer YouTube meetup today through Sunday, Lake 10 Killer, Oklahoma, Cherokee Landing State Park at the Creek Shelter. It's not too late to join us if you're close enough, and you can RSVP or email 10killerYTmeetup@gmail.com and let them know. If you are going to show up, bring a six-pack of soda, six-pack of water, something to contribute to the community pot, community ice chest, if you will. But now we're going to start moving. I can't believe it. Today's the last day I get to read that first page. That first page is gone. It's now in the can. That'll be the last day that I read those. So everything from now starts in May. Mid America YouTube meetup, Lake Eufaula State Park, Deep Fork Campground Pavilion, where the Nature Center is at. May 16th through the 18th. MT Homestead is the host. You can reach them at mthomesteadok@gmail.com. Um, May 17th, the 5th annual Shed Farm Homestead Festival in Garland, Kansas. Been seeing some posts on Facebook. They're getting things together. Got speakers coming, got a lot of stuff going on. They're getting ready for it. So that'll be a good event. So the Homestead Festival, June 6th and 7th in Hardison Mills near Columbia, Tennessee. That's at Roy Feeks Ranch, and that's a big one there. Would love to be able to make that, but got multiple reasons to want to drive to. Yes, thank you, bro. I'll read that. Let's get that right fast. Uh, Cheryl Franklin, who is a Ozarks Homesteading Expo. Um, you can find this on their page, actually, the Ozarks Homesteading Expo page. Anyway, they have a women's retreat. It's in Missouri in May, and it's a homesteaders women's retreat, and they do this every year. And we were just blown away last year with the idea that they had a bunch of women in a retreat for a week, something like that, 5 days, whatever, kind of crazy. But anyway, that's coming up in May. So go on to Ozarks Homesteading Expo. You can get links to that, and we'll try to get some. I'll get some more information and get that up in my list. So thank you, bro. Anyway, let's see the Roy Feeks thing. Like I said, I'd love to go down there for about three reasons because there's of course the festival, and then there's a guy named Warren Barfield who's a musician that I like who lives in that area, and then there's a guy that I watch on YouTube, Vice Grip Garage. His name's Derek Beery, and their garage, their show, all their stuff is right outside of Columbia, so it's like I could go down there and spend a week. But anyway, not going to happen this year, though. Okay, same month of June, Modern Homesteading Conference, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, June 27th through 28th. You can find out more information at modernhomesteading.com, as well as you can search them out on Facebook. They're out there on the old Facebook. Speaking of, we mentioned this Ozarks Homesteading Expo, September 5th and 6th, Marshfield, Missouri. That's going to be another big event. That'll be our first one of the fall, and looking forward to being there and seeing everybody and getting to enjoy that experience again. Goat's milk ice cream, bro. That's all I'm saying. Goat's milk ice cream. Anyway, September 26th and 27th, the Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous, Southeast Expo Center, McAllister, Oklahoma. Some of you may have seen Hippie Callier Homestead up in the chat box there. That is the founders of the directors of the Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous. Things are getting bigger. Things are getting better. And it is got a good speaker lineup getting built up and got a lot of good quality speakers and presenters, sponsors on board. It is going to be a great year there with that, and looking forward to that. And of course, to round out the year, Homesteaders of America Conference, October 10th and 11th in Front Royal, Virginia. Man, the granddaddy of them all, big event, and a lineup of speakers and presenters that is second to none anywhere. I mean, you've got let's see, Nick Freitas is going to be there. Oh man, what is John? I always forget John's last name. Warrior Poet Society. Can't believe that name. His last name always escapes me. But anyway, there he's going to be there. Of course, the Salatons and so many more. The list is unreal. Amy Fuel and the group there at HOA do a great job. It's the only HOA you want to be a part of, Homesteaders of America. So, but anyway, so that's going to be good. Have enjoyed being back in live today. It's been a little weird. Uh, uh, I got so used to recording at night and not doing this, just listening along with everybody else. But I hope this finds you all well. Like I said, I do appreciate each of y'all that have been showing up every morning, um, to watch the show, even though I've not been here. And I know y'all been having your own little chats going on. I haven't got to see them, but I know they've been going on, and I appreciate it. And not sure about next week yet. It is just that time of year for my job, and so they're giving us more work, and more work equals more money. So got to go do that stuff. But this weekend, I hope everybody gets out. Stay dry wherever you may be. We are super. Hashtag farm to table for life. I like that. I like that right there. I'm leaving that up, Scotty. There you go. Scotty's got a new hashtag, bro. Hashtag farm to table for life. There you go. That's good. I have to write that one down. I'm gonna have to put that in the hashtag on the description and stuff later. But hashtag farm to table for life. That says that's got a couple of messages. We're just gonna leave that up there this morning. There you go, Scotty. Appreciate it. We can always count on you for some good stuff. Scotty's a solid contributor to the chat and to our little family here on the Farm to Table Show Morning Edition. Appreciate it. And the Farm to Table Show in general. We appreciate it very much. But anyway, looking forward to seeing many people this weekend, and try to get some photos and try to get some hangout time. And also got to go thrifting with my wife. That's something we do. We like to thrift shop, and we have a online. My wife has an online resale. I'll get the name of that out to you one of these days. She's get the channel link. But anyway, my wife does online resale of clothing and those types of things. Anyway, it's one of the things we do together. Anyway, but so, guys, I'm going to get out of here. That is a wrap for today on the Farm to Table Show Morning Edition. Thanks for joining us as we strive towards building stronger communities for now and in the future. If you enjoyed today's episode, Married with Pigs, don't forget to hit the old like button. All right, share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channels on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble. It is the best way to stay connected and help grow the conversation about food, farming, and community. Until next time, keep your roots deep and your vision growing. Good food starts with great people just like you all. And remember, we are hashtag stronger together, hashtag farm to table for life, hashtag think outside the big box store, keep it, shop local. Yeah, that's it. Boy, that one's a mouthful right there. It's a long one. Anyway, God bless everybody. Thanks for being in with us today. Look forward to seeing you on Monday morning, 6 a.m., as we are here Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. At the Farm to Table Show Morning Edition. Thanks for everything that y'all do to help keep us going. So as you go out this weekend and today, be a blessing to someone, even if it's just a smile. And remember, we're in this together. We're stronger together. Hashtag. And folks, we will see you all on the other side. And we're going to hand this to our good friend Hank to take us on out of here.
No humans were harmed in the production of this podcast.